Open Air Museum. Discover Estonia's living history, the Tallinn Open Air Museum experience. When we think of history, it often brings to mind grand castles, monumental cathedrals, or preserved artifacts behind glass in a museum. Yet, some of the most fascinating and immersive historical experiences come from places that allow you to step back in time and experience daily life as it once was. One such place is the Tallinn Open Air Museum in Estonia, a sprawling, vibrant repository of Estonian culture and rural life over the past centuries. Set against the backdrop of the serene coastline and lush greenery, this museum takes visitors on a journey through time, providing a glimpse into the traditional life of Estonian peasants, fishermen, and village folk. The Tallinn Open Air Museum, or Eesti Vaba Õhu Museum as it's called in Estonian, was officially opened in 1957. However, its roots go back much further to the early 20th century, when the first calls for a national open-air museum were made. The goal was simple: to preserve Estonia's rural heritage in the face of rapid modernization. Many countries in Europe had already recognized the importance of preserving rural architecture, traditions, and culture, and Estonia, with its rich peasant history, was no exception. Located on the picturesque Kopli Bay coast in Rocca al Mare, just a short drive from Tallinn's city center, the museum spans over 72 hectares of land. With nearly 80 historical buildings transported from various regions of Estonia, it offers an authentic glimpse into the diverse rural lifestyles from the 18th to the early 20th century. These buildings include traditional farmhouses, windmills, chapels, schoolhouses, and even a functioning village tavern. Stepping into the Tallinn Open Air Museum is like stepping into a living, breathing village from the past. Each corner you turn reveals another facet of Estonian rural life, perfectly preserved. The museum is organized into different regions, each reflecting the unique architectural styles and ways of life from different parts of the country. This includes farms and structures from the islands of Saaremaa and Muhu, the Setomaa region in the south, and even coastal fishing villages. Let's break down some of the key areas within the museum. 1. Peasant farms, the heart of rural life. The backbone of Estonian society for centuries was agriculture, and at the heart of the museum are the peasant farms. Each farmstead is made up of several buildings: a main house, usually made of logs, barns, granaries, and sometimes smoke saunas. These homes reflect the harsh but resilient life of Estonian peasants. The interiors are decorated with traditional textiles, wooden furniture, and tools that were used daily for farming, cooking, and crafting. The Sutlepa Chapel, an 18th century wooden church, is a standout among the peasant farm buildings. Originally from Läänemaa, it was painstakingly transported to the museum and is a perfect example of the simple yet deeply spiritual life of Estonian rural communities. 2. Coastal fishing villages, the life by the sea. Estonia's location along the Baltic Sea has made fishing a critical part of its economy and culture, especially for communities living on the coast and islands. The Tallinn Open Air Museum dedicates a section to these coastal fishing villages, featuring typical wooden fishing huts, net drying racks, and boathouses. The fishing huts are small and rugged, built to withstand the unpredictable coastal weather. Visitors can also explore the tools of the trade, including fishing nets, wooden boats, and fish drying implements. Here, you can imagine the life of fishermen who relied on the sea for their livelihood, facing both the bounty and danger it presented. 3. Manors and windmills, symbol of power and production. The museum also houses several examples of windmills and watermills, which were once common features of the Estonian landscape. The most impressive is the Kolu windmill from Saaremaa, a traditional post windmill that was critical for grinding grain into flour. Windmills played an essential role in rural Estonia's food production, and visiting these structures offers insight into the self-sufficient nature of village life. Estonian manors, often owned by German or Russian landlords, were the centers of economic and social power in rural areas. Though the museum focuses more on peasant life, there is a small manor house that reflects the more privileged lifestyle of the nobility, providing a contrast to the modest peasant homes. 4. Seto Village, unique in culture and architecture. Setomaja, a region in southern Estonia, is home to the Seto people, a unique cultural group with their own language, traditions, and customs. The museum features a Seto farm, highlighting the distinct architecture and cultural practices of this community. The Seto farmstead is noticeably different from those in northern Estonia, with more emphasis on decoration and distinct folk art. The Seto farm also showcases their traditional Orthodox Christian practices, which are a blend of local pagan beliefs and Christian customs. Visitors can observe the unique icons and ceremonial spaces, which remain a crucial part of Seto identity to this day. Interactive and living history, experiencing the past. Firsthand. What makes the Tallinn Open Air Museum truly exciting is that it's not just a collection of static buildings. The museum comes alive with costumed interpreters who perform the daily tasks that would have been routine for Estonian villagers centuries ago. Whether it's churning butter, baking traditional rye bread in a clay oven, or weaving textiles on a loom, visitors can see, hear, and even smell what life was like. During special festivals and holidays, such as Midsummer's Eve or Christmas, the museum becomes a hub of traditional Estonian music, dance, and festivities. Visitors can participate in folk dances, listen to traditional music played on ancient instruments, or even learn old Estonian songs and games. It's an immersive experience that brings the history of Estonia to life in a way few museums can match. A museum for all ages. While history enthusiasts will undoubtedly be captivated by the depth and detail of the exhibits, the Tallinn Open Air Museum is also a fantastic destination for families. The museum offers a range of activities and workshops designed specifically for children. They can try their hand at traditional crafts like pottery or woodworking, explore the farm animals, or play traditional Estonian games. In addition, the museum has an educational program that provides insight into Estonia's history through interactive learning. School groups and families can enjoy themed trails, solving riddles, and learning about various trades, crafts, and customs as they explore. The Kolu Tavern, a taste of history. No trip to the Tallinn Open Air Museum would be complete without stopping at the Kolu Tavern, a cozy 19th century tavern that was relocated from Harju County. The tavern offers visitors a chance to taste traditional Estonian cuisine in an authentic setting. Here you can enjoy hearty dishes like mulgi kapsad, sauerkraut with pork, karask, a type of barley bread, or Estonia's famed rye bread with a bowl of warming soup. Dining at the Kolu Tavern is not just about tasting good food, it's about immersing yourself in the culinary traditions that have sustained Estonian people for generations. The dishes are simple yet rich in flavor, showcasing the resourcefulness of rural Estonian cooking, where every ingredient had to be preserved, conserved, and utilized to the fullest. Beyond its historical significance, the Tallinn Open Air Museum offers visitors the chance to connect with nature. The museum is situated in a lush forested area with picturesque coastal views, offering a peaceful retreat from the bustle of modern life. Walking through the expansive grounds, surrounded by pine trees and meadows, it's easy to forget that you're just a few kilometers from Tallinn's city center. The natural setting plays an integral role in the museum's atmosphere. Many of the traditional practices you'll observe are tied to the rhythms of nature, from seasonal agricultural tasks to the harvesting of natural resources like timber and fish. The harmony between people and their environment is a central theme that visitors will come to appreciate throughout their visit. Throughout the year, the Tallinn Open Air Museum celebrates various traditional Estonian festivals and customs, offering visitors the chance to experience these events in an authentic setting. Celebrated in June, Midsummer's Eve is one of the most important holidays in Estonia. The museum hosts a grand celebration with bonfires, traditional dances, and folk music. The museum hosts a grand celebration with bonfires, traditional dances, and folk music. During December, the museum hosts Christmas celebrations that reflect how rural Estonians would have observed the holiday in centuries past. Visitors can see how different regions decorated their homes, prepared festive dishes, and practiced unique holiday customs. From making straw ornaments to cooking traditional Christmas foods like blood sausage and sauerkraut, this is an excellent time to see how past generations celebrated in a time before modern conveniences. In November, these two holidays mark the end of the agricultural year and the beginning of winter preparations. Traditionally, young people would dress in costumes and go door to door singing songs and receiving food in return. At the museum, visitors can see these traditions come to life, complete with folk costumes, song, and dance. The Tallinn Open Air Museum is much more than a collection of old buildings. It's a living testament to Estonia's rich and diverse cultural heritage. Whether you're exploring the rustic farmhouses, experiencing the traditions of the Seto people, or learning about the life of coastal fishermen, each step you take brings you closer to understanding the spirit of Estonia. This museum invites visitors not only to observe history, but to experience it, to walk in the footsteps of past generations, to learn their customs, and to appreciate the ingenuity and resilience that defined their way of life. Whether you're a history buff, a nature lover, or a family looking for a day of exploration and learning, the Tallinn Open Air Museum is a must-visit destination for anyone interested in the heart and soul of Estonia.